cast, I can feel the heat building up inside me, like an inferno that never goes out. Never again will I be without mana, because as a warlock and fire mage who will never run out of mana, you cannot win.
Okay, that's enough of that. Hey, I'm a fire mage now. You know, I actually used to main a mage back in the original WoW and into TBC until I dueled a Warlock, and he pressed mana drain on me, and then I rerolled Warlock. So what I decided to do was create a mage build that doesn't go So that's what I've done. Now, of course, it's not enough just not to go Anybody can make a mage build that doesn't go It also needs to be able to live and put out a lot of damage and crowd control. So when I started looking at the mage talent trees, I remember way back on Arena Tournament, myself and Hishu and some others built the Spirit build that essentially tapped into Molten Armors giving crit to you based on your Spirit. So I thought, what would happen if I just stacked a ton of Spirit, got talents that provided me with 100% mana regen while casting, and then spread a bunch of pressure with Living Bomb. And it kind of works. Living Bomb does a ton of damage, and if you're able to keep Living Bomb on 3 targets at all times, because there's no real consequence in doing so if you never go your opponent's going to be under constant pressure. But here's the thing. When your opponent's taking constant damage from a bunch of different sources, you can still run in and Dragon's Breath them, because Dragon's Breath does not break on dot ticks. This includes things like Death and Decay, or Warlock dots, or Deep Wounds, or whatever it is. They're going to constantly take pressure from all of these different angles while being crowd controlled by Dragon's Breath. So that's important, because during that time that they're melting and sitting in CC, I have infinite mana. So unlike other mage builds, I can sit there and spell steal. I'll get rid of their Light's Beacon or their Sacred Shield or whatever it is during that downtime. And all the while I'm doing that, not only am I not going but I'm gaining benefits from all of those buffs. So think Divine Plea, Sacred Shield. That one's actually bugged right now. That's a whole other thing. But my point is, I'm taking their buffs off of them, putting them onto me while they're all dying at once. And I can do that indefinitely. So all the clips you're going to be seeing throughout this video were performed when I had pretty crappy gear, to be honest. It's only just this week that I've gotten to the point where I feel like my gear is pretty competitive, in that I now have 4-piece PvP, and I can actually use the glove bonus for Polymorph, so I'm using now Glyph of Polymorph, and all of these other things. So my gear was kind of rough, and yet it was still working pretty well. So I'm pretty excited to see where we go from here. I intend to play it over the next couple weeks, and if it goes well, I will let you know and post some videos about it. But just as a heads up, I am using Glyph of Polymorph, Glyph of Living Bomb, as well as Glyph of Molten Armor. And I'm essentially just stacking all Spirit and then getting enough Resil such that I won't just get one shot if somebody trains me. A lot of Ferals on the ladder right now, so the Resil front's been pretty scary. Anyway, even with a couple hateful pieces and not having perfect gear, I'm still at this point where I have about 600 MP5 while casting, as well as about a 40% chance to crit with Living Bomb, while maintaining about 900 resilience. So that's unbuffed. That's pretty good. I'm getting a lot of instant cast pyro procs from the double crits, and it's scary. I put out a lot of damage. So anyway, I'm going to keep this one pretty short. I'll go ahead and post this video, and if I continue with this Fire Mage thing and I find it to be pretty strong, I'll keep posting about it. So let me know what you want to see with this, and I will see you later.